Well, blessed Monday and also blessed Juneteenth to all of you. Juneteenth is one of the newer holidays, at least on some of our radars, but it goes back to the Civil War. It was the effective completion of the Emancipation Proclamation that would make all former slaves free. And of course, the Civil War didn't end for another 2.5 years after Lincoln decreed the emancipation. So on June 19th, Juneteenth, 1865, the last slave population of Galveston, Texas, was set free. And so it is a reminder, a sober reminder of the mission that we are called to have. If you ever sing the Battle Hymn of the Republic, it is a celebration of that freedom. But it also is a reminder that we go into uncertainty when we realize that we haven't had our freedoms completed yet. And that's one of the sober reminders as we need to not only celebrate our independence when we get to July 4th, to remind ourselves that even after Lincoln said the emancipation, it took 2.5 years for it to be completed, we are still people that need to set others free. It's an unknown mission. And so we have examples of that unknown mission. Especially yesterday, we had the commissioning of the 12 apostles, the sent ones, to heal, to raise the dead, and to work the miracles, if not the life of Jesus, among the hurting. Another one of those sent ones from the Bible, and specifically from the Old Testament, is Joshua. Imagine his assignment after filling the shoes of Moses. So our reflection today is from Joshua chapter 1, beginning with verse 1. After the death of Moses, the servant of the Lord spoke to Joshua son of Nun, Moses' assistant, saying, My servant Moses is dead. Now proceed to cross the Jordan, you and all the people, into the land that I am giving to them, to the Israelites. Every place that the sole of your foot tread upon, I have given to you, as I promised Moses. From the wilderness and the Lebanon as far as the great river Euphrates, all the land of the Hittites, to the great sea in the west shall be your territory. No one shall be able to stand against you all the days of your life. As I was with Moses, so I will be with you. I will not fail you or forsake you. Be strong and courageous, for you shall put this people in possession of the land that I swore to the ancestors to give them. Only be strong and very courageous, being careful to act in accordance with all the law that my servant Moses commanded you. Do not turn from it to the right hand or to the left, so that you may be successful in wherever you go. This book of the law shall not depart out of your mouth, and you shall meditate upon it day and night, so that you may be careful to act in accordance with all that is written in it. For you shall make your way prosperous. For then you shall make your way prosperous, and then you shall be successful. I hereby command you, be strong and courageous. Do not be frightened or dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Then Joshua commanded his officers of the people, pass through the camp and command the people, prepare your provisions, for in 3 days you are going to cross the Jordan to go and take possession of the land the Lord your God gives you to possess. It was a difficult calling. It was an important calling, and it was one that was going to take endurance. So is the cause of freedom as we proclaim and get into the celebratory times of America and the calling, the unique calling we have both within our country and without to proclaim freedom. In fact, a lot of people don't remember this, but Martin Luther, even in his name, he changed it from Luder to Luther, so it matched the Greek word eleutherus. And you know what that was the word for? Freedom. Because while he knew that he could not escape the will of God and the mighty presence of God, Luther was pretty strict about that. We are not free from God, but God is the one who frees us and invites us to be part of that freedom that Eleutherus. And so we might ask ourselves, what is preventing you and I to be free? What is preventing you and I to act on the freedom that we have been given in the rescue of God? For Joshua, another name for Joshua is, of course, Jesus. Joshua, Yeshua, is the Hebrew name for Jesus. And he's calling the people to cross over into the promised land, calling the people to an uncertain future, at least in the immediate, but a certain future as it is regard to its ending point. For what we are called into is a freedom to trust in the rescue of God, a freedom to trust in the freedom of God, a freedom to trust that God will walk with us. For us as believers, we do not necessarily carry the book of the Torah with us, for it has been promised in Jeremiah 31 that Torah has been written upon our hearts. That law is written on our flesh, not on bricks of stone. But even more important, that law has been personified in Jesus, God made flesh, who promises to never leave us or forsake us, to be strong and very courageous, and to not shirk our duty because the future looks difficult or the future looks uncertain. Remember this from verse 9. It has been my daughter's confirmation verse, and I still remember it. Be strong and courageous. Do not be frightened or dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Now that means that all of us might be going to different places, but there is one who will not go with us on a different route, because if we go away from him, we are no longer commissioned by him. We are no longer living in the freedom that we have been given. And that is to walk in the pathway of God, specifically Jesus Christ, who died and rose again so that you and I could set others free, proclaim the good news, whether it be Juneteenth or any other day of the week. No, my friends, there is a proclamation. Jesus proclaimed that your sins are forgiven 2,000 years ago, just like the Emancipation Proclamation of Lincoln. But it was affected in the time when you and I were baptized, and it is affected every time we respond and turn towards that freedom that does lead into responsibility, a freedom to set others free as you have been set free. Be strong and courageous. God bless you today. We trust that these continue to be words of encouragement. We'll see you next time. Take care.